Welcome to another one of my YouTube video where I share with you just how I grow orchids in Jamaica. Well, I wanted a change of scene, and so today I am by my sister's home in Mandeville. I brought her a lovely Phalaenopsis orchid for her kitchen, and she is loving it. Here comes Orchid Dog delivering my flowers. Oh, how it looks so wonderful. Hey. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Ace. Hello. Hello. You know, we love with Dendrobium orchids. And those are really our original type and easy growing orchids. So one of the things though, we tend to buy seedlings, Dendrobium seedlings. I had purchased some Dendrobium seedlings, and I'm doing an experiment here just to see if the size of the pot that you plant them in really matters. Some of these I really didn't have as part of my collection. And so I am just so excited about having them now being a part of my collection. So I'll be sharing with you some of those that I had purchased. I actually had purchased a Dendrobium Supanbury white crossed with Doreen. Also a Dendrobium blue black, not to mention the Dendrobium red spin. Also a Dendrobium Bangkok Gold, and this one is really a beautiful one, the Dendrobium Mini Wuling, and also the Dendrobium Hiroshi Blue, which is actually a very beautiful one as well. So these are actually Dendrobium plugs that I had purchased, and now I'm gonna be potting them. So I'm gonna be removing the coconut husk from the plants. I'm going to be planting them in construction gravel combined with a small amount of charcoal mixed with that. And I have already gone ahead to wash the planting material, because of course you know you want to remove all the soil and stuff like that from it. Once I remove the coconut husk, the next step is to actually soak the plants in a solution of MSG and molasses for approximately 20 minutes. I do that because that solution really help in promoting root growth, and of course these are gonna be newly planted seedlings, and you want them to have a healthy and robust rooting system. And there they are, now potted. I am gonna put them in the area where I grow my seedlings, and then of course you're gonna journey with me to see the changes and the result of it. And remember, they're potted in different size pots, so we are going to really experiment and see if size really matters. Ten months later, they're all here. Some beautiful ones. I have the Dendrobium Bangkok Gold. I also bought the Dendrobium Mini Noporn and a number of others. And I decided that I wanted to try this thing out because I want to lay it to rest once and for all. So they were all planted on the same day. They were all planted in the same medium. They were all grown in the same growing condition and environment. However, one of the things that I did though as a means of control there were a few Dendrobium seedlings that were not purchased. These Dendrobium seedlings were actually kikis from my own Dendrobium plants that I have in my greenhouse. And so I used them as the control. So let us look at the result. I have here two of the same everything, same name, same everything, but this one is actually the Dendrobium mini woundling. This too is a Dendrobium mini woundling, but of course, you know, it's a mini plant, so it's not gonna be a very large plant. And so I planted one in this small pot and another in this large pot, and the planting or the potting medium is actually gravel or construction stones mixed with a little bit of charcoal, not a whole lot. And they all were planted in October of last year. And 10 months later, this is the result. If you look at it, I'm gonna bring you a little closer to it. If you notice, the one in the small pot, a little bit smaller than the one in the large pot. And in this case, I'm not gonna say it's because of the size of the pot why one is larger at this stage, but then the difference in size is not really significant. Of course, there are different factors that could contribute to, you know, this happening, because it depends on the quality of the seedling that you would have purchased. Because one of the things I try to do when I'm purchasing seedlings, I try to ensure that there is a little eye or a new growth coming out. I could show you that right here. So when I'm buying, I try to make sure that I see a little new growth or a little fresh eye coming out. And that really makes a difference. However, if I'm buying and there's none, it is a plant that I really want to be, you know, as a part of my collection, and there's no eye or anything, then I'll still purchase it because I know it will come. But then that is one thing I really look for. All right, so I'm going to show you another one. If you look at this one, I don't think for this one I have the same one in the large pot. This is a Dendrobium Deang 280. I tell you these names, just man. And this one is a Dendrobium Venus. And if you look at them, the one in the smaller pot is a little larger than the one in the larger pot. However, again, you have to look at the type or the cross, because sometimes there might be a difference, you know, in terms of how it is grown. But then when you compare it with this one, which this one is a Dendrobium Dormon, then you notice that the sizes are pretty much the same. And of course, my controls, when you look and compare it with my controls, they are pretty much the same, very little difference in terms of size and stuff like that. So here's another one that was purchased the same time, but I put this one in a pot that is a little bit smaller than my largest pot and a little bit larger than my smallest pot. And you would have noticed too that there's hardly any difference. So guess what? All in all, me don't know what you say, but for me don't think size matters. I want you to tell me what you think, because all in all, based on my experience, as a matter of fact, I prefer to plant them in the larger size pots because it gives me more in terms of time for me to move it up. So, you know, it takes a longer time to move from one pot to the other. Unlike when you put it in a small pot, within a year or two, you will have to remove it. The other difference I noticed though is the roots, the rooting system in the smaller pots. I noticed that, you know, they are all over. They're all over, unlike the ones in the larger pots, because the pot now would have enough room inside of it for the roots to be confined. So that too is another significant difference that I would have observed. But when I look at it, all of them plant under the same condition, all of them were planted at the same time, Most of them, if not all except my controls, all of them were bought at the same time from the same place. The only difference, some are mini while some are regular, and of course those variants, will cause some variation in terms of the whole thing and all of that. But overall, I don't think size matters. So guys, just tell me what you think, because for me, this is the situation. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And in case you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to my channel now, man. Because as we say in Jamaica, just follow back on me. This is the Orchid Doc, and I am growing orchids right here in Manchester, Jamaica. Thank you for watching.